did my undergraduate studies and then my first time in graduate school in social science and anthropology specifically, and did my research in Turkey and spent time in different places thinking about human behavior and how we understand population and social structures. And after that, I had a fellowship that required me to do government service time. So I went and joined the US Department of Defense on a new team of social scientists that they put together to help them understand the conflict environments and where the US military was involved. And at that time it was involved in places like Iraq and Afghanistan. And in the course of that work I found myself in Afghanistan and in a very complex environment. We were trying to understand a conflict that involved multiple local population groups, different social groups, different parts of the government, and different international forces and countries that were involved, and international groups that were involved in that conflict. It was incredibly complex and nothing like a normal war. And what we had, it was a wartime environment, so we couldn't get out there and talk to people. We couldn't do some of the things that as social scientists we were used to doing. But what we did have was a lot of information and data. It was spread around from different sources, and some of it was text and some of it was incident reports from improvised explosive devices and things like that. Some of it was financial information. And what the value that needed to happen, our work, was to sort of say, how can we bring all these disparate pieces of information and how can we transform them and think about them at a statistical level, and what inferences can we draw from them? And what I learned was that was fundamentally and firstly a problem of data engineering, a problem of data transformation, and a problem of thinking statistically about problems that we hadn't historically. And so, and I think from an inspiration and motivation perspective for me, and why it meant so much for how my career has gone since then, is that it was fundamentally, it was like literally a problem of life and death. This was in 2010. By then the war had been going for 8 years. Thousands of people were dying every day. And so if we didn't pull this information together, the world would be a much worse place than it could if we could actually build really good systems. And so that was, I think, ever since then, my career has been oriented towards that very problem. And it doesn't, in most cases, we're fortunate that it isn't a matter of life and death. But it's still incredibly important for our lives, whether we're solving the problem of where to buy a house and we're going to raise our family, or where to get a job and where we'll be a best fit. All of these problems are being better solved through software and through data science and understanding and analytics of making matches and making recommendations. And fundamentally, it's about making the world a better place. And what could be a better motivation for learning than that? I don't think there is anything. And so that's how I want to spend my life.